Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This morning in my trailer video, I asked you all to submit your Doctor Who questions, so this video is going to be all about that. Most of you just had questions about Capaldi's catchphrases or old characters returning. Thankfully, Steven Moffat has actually said some things about that. Quick congrats to Brad Miller, you're this week's giveaway winner. It's an Amazon gift card. I'll message you on your channel for details. Next round of the giveaway starts whenever I post the Classic Who video that I've mentioned before. That might end up being Saturday or sooner if I can get through a few other videos first. Remember, all you have to do to enter the Doctor Who giveaways is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the videos. So let's answer some questions. On to number 1. The Doctor's assistant asks, what was your first episode of Doctor Who? So the first one that I can consciously remember planning to watch on television was The 11th Hour. My family was more Star Wars and Lord of the Rings growing up, so I didn't discover Doctor Who until well after the 2005 reboot. I think one of the science fiction blogs I read at the time was hyping up Matt Smith's debut, so I decided to check it out and fell in love with it. I will say that I think I ended up liking Series 6 more than Series 5 or Series 7, just because by the time they got to Series 6 they were a little more comfortable in their clothes, so to speak. So by that point I was just a little more connected with the characters, a little more invested in the story. Series 7 was a little bit weird just because of that giant mid-season break. I think it was sometime after the start of Series 6 that I started watching Eccleston and Tennant's runs. There's an infinite amount of Doctor Who. You could watch it till the end of time and you still wouldn't have watched it all. On to question number 2, Keegan Bazin asks, when you do videos for the episodes, could you point out the Easter eggs if you see them? So I'm definitely going to try and catch as many things as possible, but the more Doctor Who that you've consumed, including the novels, the audio dramas, the comics, the more you'll probably end up seeing. Most of the stuff that I catch will probably be the really obvious stuff, but sometimes Doctor Who actors make subtle choices in a scene that might be references to things that you barely notice. So I'll try to find a way for you guys to message me during the episodes whenever you see things that I might miss. There's always going to be a ton of stuff that you guys see that I might miss, so I'm going to try and find an organized way for you guys to let me know about it during the episodes so that I can include it in the reviews and give you guys credit. On to question number 3, Chrissy Smith asks, do you think that Clara will stick around or will the changes scare her off? I think that episode 1 will mostly take care of Clara getting used to Capaldi. The hurdle that she has to jump over is the Doctor not being the Doctor as she knows him, so their relationship has to adapt. That might actually be why Moffat chose to include Vostra and the Paternoster gang in the episode, just because they're kind of like a neutral group of friends. Vostra is someone who's really long lived like the Doctor, so she has a much broader perspective on his life. Most companions only know one version of the Doctor. Some do get to see the new one after the regeneration, like Sarah Jane. It's definitely going to be weird, but I do think she's going to adapt very fast. On to question number 4, Edward asks, do you think that Clara will reference Matt Smith's Doctor a lot, or is he done and gone? Yes, I think that whenever she's talking to Capaldi, she'll still be thinking Matt Smith in her head. Capaldi's like an abstract idea to her at this point, like seeing your friend in cosplay. I don't know how long she's going to keep referring to past events with the Doctor, but I think after the first few episodes, she'll start to speak more in present tense, and less about experiences that she shared with Matt Smith's Doctor. I've heard rumors about a Matt Smith phone call during the episode. If that's the case, that could be like the big hurdle that they jump over when they start getting on with their lives. There was a clip from episode 2 that's been posted. It's been turned into Tumblr GIFs. Based on the jokes in that, I think that the Matt Smith references will largely be limited to the first episode. But you also have to remember that every time in Series 8 that Peter Capaldi runs into someone that he's seen before, but not for a long time, they're gonna have to get over that first new meeting. It's like meeting the Doctor again for the first time, even though you know who he is. On to question number 5, Kaylin Cook asks, are there gonna be any two-parters this year? So yes, the finale is going to be a two-parter, and I can't remember where, but I think I remember hearing Steven Moffat say that the stories are supposed to be less serialized, meaning that there's going to be more one-off episodes. It makes sense that they do that for Capaldi's first run. It's a lot easier for new viewers, people who've never watched Doctor Who before, to jump on a series if they don't have to know a lot of the details of the earlier episodes. They kind of did the same thing whenever Matt Smith came on in Series 5, but by the time they made it to Series 6, the Lake Silencio River song plot started ticking up each of the episodes. On to question number 6, Mario Hernandez asks, do you think that Capaldi will use a lot of previous Doctors' catchphrases in the episode? I've heard that there's a very signature Tom Baker catchphrase, but I think that he's going to be doing things from each of the Doctor's runs. Some references will be a little more obvious than others, but Capaldi's Doctor is supposed to be closer to the 3rd and 4th Doctors, more so than any of the other Doctors. That'll also probably play into a lot of the Easter eggs and references that get laid into episodes, so anytime you guys see things from previous Doctors, you'll be able to message me and just let me know, hey, this came from X Doctor in X episode. I know a lot of you have actually been asking what I think that Capaldi's catchphrase is going to end up being. I actually have no idea, but I'd love it if there were a little bit of Malcolm Tucker in it. I don't think the BBC is going to let him swear that much, but I think we'll see some pretty amazing Tumblr edits whenever people start posting GIF sets of the episodes. Like whenever people put new dialogue on GIFs of Peter Capaldi and Paul McGann from The Thick of It, they just make it really funny and make it a Doctor Who thing. On to number 7, Alec Plumley asks, I watched Tennant's run, but do I need to watch Matt Smith's run to understand what's going on? So good question. No, you do not have to watch it, but you should just because it'll give you a little bit better context. If you don't have time to watch all of Matt Smith's run, just watch Series 7B through the Christmas special. If you really don't have any time, just watch the 50th and the Christmas special. I did post that beginner's guide with a bunch of different episodes, but the truth is that you could literally watch and read everything and it still wouldn't cover all the expanded material. You really just have to draw the line somewhere, so you should at least watch the 50th. It was amazing. On to question number 8, Michael Jarvis asks, do you think that we'll see the return of the Omega? I don't think so, and here's why. It mostly has to do with the stuff that Moffat's bringing back already, or the stuff that we know that he's bringing back. Right now, of the things that we do know that he's bringing back, it's all stuff that he's either written himself or stuff from his time as showrunner. When it comes to Classic Who, I think the things they will be bringing back are mostly thematic and visual. Not so much characters, but character traits and the tone of some of the previous Doctor's episodes. There's still a lot that we don't know about Series 8, so it's always possible, but I think that they're trying to introduce new villains. Bringing someone like the Omega back would totally overshadow any new people that they brought on. I don't think they want to steal focus too much. That's part of the reason the Master isn't coming back. Well, that and scheduling. Remember, Stephen Moffat said that the Master is pretty much dead and gone, and John Sim has that new series Intruders that's premiering right after Doctor Who Episode 1. Question number 9, James McQueen asks, what's your favorite TARDIS interior? So I always love new interiors, so I always tend to think the newest is always the best, but the last one that I got really excited about was John Hurt's TARDIS. He was introduced as the War Doctor, a badass, so I got so hyped to see what a TARDIS would look like during the Time War. The Doctor changed himself to be more brutal, so naturally his console would fit that personality and function. It ended up looking like a starker version of Nine's TARDIS, like the precursor to that with the round things. I totally loved it whenever Smith and Tennant were trying to remember the purpose of the round things and just couldn't figure it out. And on to question number 10, last one. Iaz asks, in the 50th anniversary, Tom Baker told Matt Smith he'd be revisiting old faces soon. What do you think that means, and are they going to follow up on it in Series 8? So I actually think that it means two things. First, that revisiting old faces is like a literal thing, like they're going to be revisiting the previous classic Doctors and future anniversaries. I think we can all agree that it was awesome seeing Tom Baker show up, and the 5-ish Doctors was totally fun. So he was probably talking about them coming back in the next special, like literally seeing old faces. The second thing that I think he meant was revisiting old faces via regenerations, like he was talking about Capaldi even though we hadn't met him yet. Capaldi talks about his face being familiar and somehow mysterious, like when he looks in the mirror he recognizes his face as a face he's seen before, but he just can't place it. I think that's going to be one of the running plots this series, finding out if the Doctor is reusing an old face, and if he is, why. Like, what's the purpose in reusing a face versus picking a new face? So all great questions. Thank you so much for submitting them. Since I'm going to have a little bit more time in future Q&A videos, I'll try and include as many as possible. Like, I'll try and do like 20 or 15 questions instead of doing the regular 10. And like I said, my next video is going to be the Classic Who one. I'll try to post that by Saturday, if not earlier. I have jury duty Friday, so we'll see. Thursday is like my last day on my job, and then Friday I have to go to jury duty. I know, it's totally ridiculous. But in the meantime, in case you haven't seen it, click here for my list of essential episodes before Series 8, and click here to learn about all 12 episode titles. We don't know anything about the Christmas special yet. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. High fives.